Okay guys, so today I'm looking to Shane Dawson, mind-blowing conspiracy theories. So I'm gonna get into the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And it's like literally 45 minutes and 6 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna get into the video. Okay, wait, there.
Warning. What you are about to watch may make you question everything you thought you knew. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. Now today we're going to be talking about a lot of different theories. Some involving subliminal messages that have been around for your whole life. Oh, here's Fauna! Stop it! What are you doing? Stop! We're also going to be talking about some of the dark secrets involving the world's biggest pop stars. Also a possible warning sign that humans are going to be exterminated. And for the first time, I let somebody tell me a conspiracy. And it's from one of the biggest conspiracy theorists I know. My own brother. And what he told me was mind-blowing. Ew! Oh my god! Ew! Ew! Now before we get started, once again, I have to say, these are all just theories, none of them are facts. And they're not meant to hurt anyone, any company, or any fandom. Alright, let's get started. I know what you're thinking, Shane. Are you really going to be talking about Yanny versus Laurel? Yes, but not in the way that you would expect. So for the one person out there who doesn't know about this, Yanny versus Laurel took over the internet and took over the world.
Well, if you haven't heard about this yet, let me tell you, you probably will by the end of the day.
What do you hear in this audio clip? The word Laurel or Yanny?
Is it Yanny or Laurel?
Just raise your hands. Everybody who heard Yanny. Okay, you don't have to clap.
Yanny or Laurel?
Who hears Laurel?
I
Then I
hear
got
both.
to work. I played it, and all I could hear was Laurel.
Oh, I didn't
It's
hear that.
really weird.
So I heard Laurel, and now I can't hear Laurel anymore. I'm hearing
my goodness.
Yanny.
That's right. It was on the news. Every single celebrity was talking about it.
Laurel.
YouTubers were reacting to it.
Laurel.
Yanny!
I hear
Even the
Laurel.
White House did a video about it.
Laurel.
So clearly Laurel.
I hear Kofefi.
So a YouTuber named Chloe found the clip on Reddit and posted it on her Twitter,
I tweeted this thing today. What do you guys hear, Yanny or Laurel?
and it went viral.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Ellen retweeted it! Oh my god!
People started interviewing the girl who actually created the clip.
I was doing a literature assignment on vocabulary.com and I clicked it and I heard Yanny and I knew that wasn't one of my vocab words.
So you're probably thinking I'm going to say this whole thing was a conspiracy and it was just meant to distract us from the important things that were going on.
Laurel. It's Laurel, America. Definitely hashtag Laurel.
So clearly Laurel.
She was like, Chloe, you should tweet this and go viral. So I tweeted it and it went viral.
Hashtag
It's like just blowing up.
No, I don't think that's what it was. But it does correlate with a theory that is a lot darker than that. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, after Yanny and Laurel went viral, a bunch of other audio clips came out that were freaking people out. This one was played on The Ellen Show, and I can't believe it didn't get more attention. I'm going to play you an audio clip. Listen closely. Now listen to this.
The juice of lemons makes fine punch.
And now I'm going to play that first clip again. I know. Weird. If you haven't heard this thing yet, then you're probably freaking out.
It's like a horror movie, isn't it?
Oh my god.
Here's another example of it that is even crazier. And now, listen to this.
The Constitution Center is at the next stop.
And listen to the first clip again.
Oh
So
my
what just happened
god.
was when you heard the clip initially, it was a lot of static and your brain didn't know what to make of it. But then in the second clip, you heard what the person was saying. So that when you listen to the first clip again, your brain knows what to look for and it hears it through the static. Now these next few things I'm going to show you are examples of audio illusions. This is an illusion of hearing when the listener hears sounds that are not present. Alright, first I'm going to play you a sound that feels like it keeps going up. That's right, it feels like it keeps going up forever. And then there's versions of it going down. I know, it's so confusing because you're waiting for the beat to drop or for something to happen, and it doesn't, it just keeps going. Now the next type of audio illusion we're going to talk about is the power of suggestion. So watch this clip and think of the word brainstorm. Alright, now watch the same clip again, but this time think of the words green needle.
Oh.
And there's so many other examples out there. Just listen to this one from a T.I. song. First listen to it and think, 'cause I'm a paper chaser. Now listen to it and think, 'cause I'm a big fucking slut. I know, that one is crazy. But by far, the craziest audio illusion is called the McGurk effect. Watch this woman and tell me what you hear her say. Ba, 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 ba. Do you think you know? Watch again. Ba, ba, ba. You still think you know? Alright, now watch it with your eyes closed. Ba, 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 ba.
Oh my
That's
God.
right. The whole time, she was saying the word ba. Ba, ba, ba. Just to let it sink in even more, watch this guy do it. Ba, 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 ba. So how is this happening? Well, your ear is hearing ba.
Ba, ba,
But your eyes are seeing fa.
ba, 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 ba.
So I was curious if I could recreate this myself and try to trick some of my most skeptical friends. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, now I'm gonna play you something else. Ba, 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 ba. I was saying ba, and that's just the word copy and pasted over and over and over again. Ba.
When I close my eyes, yeah, you're right. I still hear ba. That's so weird.
Okay.
What is this? I have no idea what you're at the show.
Okay, I'm going to show you a clip of me saying a word.
Okay.
You just tell me what you hear.
Sure.
Ba, ba, ba.
Ba.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Ba, ba, ba.
Oh. Fa, fa, fa. I don't know what the real one is then. I guess it's, you're saying ba, but you're putting ba on the screen. Is that what's happening?
No.
That's crazy. Are you saying fa or ba? I do not know. Is that the same clip? All I hear is fa now. What are you doing? Stop.
Now there's even more ways that the power of suggestion can work. For example, there's this viral theory that if you pitch up Post Malone's voice, it sounds just like Justin Bieber.
I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star. All my brothers got that gas and they always be smoking like a rock star.
I mean, it's pretty good, but listen to it again while looking at pictures.
My money, they will never fall. She's taking out her son, watch out, oh, watch out, oh, watch out, yeah. I ain't rich yet, but you know I ain't broke out.
And then if you add video footage of Justin Bieber performing, it makes it almost impossible to know if it's just Post Malone sped up or if it's literally Justin Bieber doing a cover.
When my homies pull up on your block, they make that thing go grata-ta-ta. Hey.
Now here's another brain trick that you can play around with that will freak you out. This is the illusion of the noisy GIFs. Now this is when you watch a GIF that has no sound, but your brain creates the feeling of hearing something. Did you feel it? Now there's no sound, but your ears are reacting like there is, and it should kind of shake your whole head.
They're playing Jump Bro? Oh my god, I should be laughing. imagine the sound in
pressure
my
on the
head.
sides of your head. If you watch it a few times in a row, your ears will start to ring because of how intense it is.
And that one, I almost went like, oh god.
Now back to Yanny and Laurel, the whole reason we're talking about audio illusions. Now mostly young people hear Yanny because of the high frequency and high pitch. The younger you are, the higher the frequency is that you can
At first I heard Yanny.
Man, that's Laurel.
There's sounds on the internet
Then
that
Laurel.
only people under the age of 20 are supposed to be able to hear. And it sounds like this. Did you hear it? If you did, congratulations. You have young ears. Now, yesterday I was
didn't
playing the
hear it.
sound on my computer, trying to hear it, and then Rylan and Andrew, who are in my house, started freaking out.
Ow.
You can hear that?
Yeah, it's hurting my ears really bad.
I can hear it.
Oh my god. The dogs are freaking out too. It's hurting us.
Let me see if you can hear this.
Jesus Christ.
Really? You heard that too?
What?
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that again. Alright, so young people hear higher frequencies and higher pitches better. What's the theory? Well, the theory is that record labels might be using certain high frequencies and certain high pitches to brainwash young people into liking their songs. Now, one of the biggest songs of the year was The Middle by Zed.
I like the song a lot.
Now, in that song, you can hear this high-pitched noise inside the beat. Sound familiar? Listen to that Justin Bieber song, Where Are You Now? And you might have noticed in the last few years, that type of sound has been in all the hit songs. So what is that sound?
That's actually my vocal that they took and they messed with it.
It's literally just a sample of his voice pitched all the way up.
We're literally always trying to find something that you haven't heard before.
Now this is where it gets creepy. This documentary video came out about how The Middle was made. That song went through so many steps before Zed even got his hands on it. First, a producer came up with the beat and the melody. Then a songwriter wrote all the lyrics and recorded a demo.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Then they sent it to two other producers who finished the beat. And then, after all of that, they finally sent it to Zed. And he finished it up and put his signature touch on it. And what did that song supposedly not have until Zed? The high-pitched noise. What if that high-pitched little noise in the beat is actually making your brain want to hear the song, want to buy the song? And the younger you are, the more it works. What if Zed figured it out? This 28-year-old guy who came from Russia with this insane talent for making music and then just took over the world. I mean, I don't even listen to that type of music, and even I downloaded it and had it in my head for like weeks. And I think a lot of other people did too.
The Middle has been like the fastest rising song for me I think I've ever had.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little.
Now, Zed is one thing, but what if the people in power learn more about frequencies? If they can make us love a song and download it, or make us hear words that aren't even there,
It was saying Yanny. Mine was saying Laurel.
then why couldn't they figure out how to use frequencies to control us and make us do whatever they want? I mean, think about it. They could send the frequencies from space, from our phones, through the TV, literally anything that has technology. And if you look at the latest forms of weapons that the police have been trying out lately, it doesn't seem like the government using frequencies to control us is that crazy.
Please back away from this area.
You shoot the sound in the window or the door, and they leave. There have been instances where people said, well, what if they wear earplugs or put their fingers in their ears? That really doesn't do a heck of a lot. Someone who refuses to come out of their house or a hotel room, as soon as you play the deterrent tones, they leave quickly.
23andMe, just a fun, easy way for you to spit in a tube and send it off and find out if you're white.
European? I'm European! Oh my god! Okay, hold on.
Well, what if it's a lot more than just that?
If we don't use human DNA now, someone else will.
So this is not sponsored, by the way. If anything, I probably shouldn't even be saying this. But there is a theory that the 23andMe kit is actually just a way of collecting all of our DNA.
Hi, and welcome to 23andMe. Now your DNA is ready for transport. Ready for transport. Ready for transport.
This has grown the FBI database into the largest in the world, with more than 3.5% of the country's DNA on file.
Why would they want all of our DNA? We'll get to that in a second.
Ready for transport. Ready for transport.
Ready for transport. Ready for transport. Ready for transport.
And get it on its way back to our lab.
This is something that one of the 23andMe board members actually said. The long game here is not to make money selling kits, although kits are essential to get the base level data. Oh, interesting. I thought the point was kits, but okay. Once you have the data, the company does actually become the Google of personalized healthcare. So what does that mean? Hypothetically, 23andMe could try to sell you a bunch of things based on your health.
Start typing your doctor's name.
And even though they said that they won't sell your information to third parties, Google said the same thing in the beginning. Cut to now, Google keeps everything. They know your history, where you've been, what you're looking for, personalized ads that are targeted directly to you. But that's Google, Shane, not 23andMe. They're different. Well, in 2007, Google invested $3.9 billion into 23andMe. Then this is where it gets really crazy, and I'm nervous to even say this because technically I work for Google because YouTube is part of Google, so please, Google, don't kill me. But one of the women who founded 23andMe is married to the guy that founded Google. And the woman who created 23andMe, her sister is the CEO of YouTube. I mean, come on, what is this? This isn't just a test to see what your nationality is. They want all of the data, right? So not only does Google now know what I'm searching and what I'm buying online, they know everything about my body, everything about my nationality, everything about my health. Google owns us.
Hi, and welcome to 23andMe.
You keep repeating that, it just gets more creepy and creepy.
Now, Google's smart, right? They're always looking ahead. Well, in the future, what's something that's probably going to happen that's going to cost a lot of money? Age reversal.
Imagine if you could turn back time. Well, today we're a step closer thanks to an Australian breakthrough.
I believe this will be the safest strategy out there to extend lifespan.
This is something that's in effect right now. Doctors are trying to figure out how to reverse the aging process, how to make people live forever.
Probably indefinite lifespans very soon. In fact, I do not plan to die. Even more interesting, in 30 years, I will be younger than today. Not older, I will be younger. Why? Yeah. Because we're going to have rejuvenation techniques, and these experiments are beginning right now.
Well, in the future, when this technology exists, you know what you're going to need to actually do it? A frozen DNA sample from when you were young. But how are you going to get a frozen DNA sample of when you were young? It's not like you have that in your freezer. No, you don't. But 23andMe does.
Make sure you provide the recommended volume of saliva.
So in 50 years, when this is possible, 23andMe will email you and go, hey, you want your frozen young sample? That'll cost you $10,000. I mean, it's really smart. Now, they want younger people's DNA, right? Because that's the DNA you need for age reversal. Well, how do you get younger people to do a 23andMe kit? Oh, you get all of their favorite YouTubers to sell it to them.
Head on over to 23andme.com/Joey. Go to 23andme.com/Tyler Oakley.
Do that. Go to 23andme.com/Lily.
At 23andme.com/Nikki and Gabby.
23andme.com/.
Today, I will be testing out my DNA. As you can see right here, 23andMe saliva collection kit.
So I think Google knows also what they are doing.
Yeah.
Over the years, so many pop stars have talked about feeling like slaves to the record labels.
LA told me you'll be a pop star. All you have to change is everything you are.
Or like puppets on strings being controlled by the guys in suits behind them. But nothing has been more covered up and scarier than the dark world of K-pop. First, we're going to talk about a guy named Henry Prince Mac.
Hey guys, it's your boy Henry Prince Mac here.
He was a former member of a K-pop group called JJCC. So he made a video where he talked about all of the dark secrets of K-pop. And it shocked a lot of fans.
You could be working, 24 hours in a day. Imagine doing that for 10 years for maybe like $0 a day, $2 a day if you're lucky, for 10 years.
Now, he refers to the contracts that the K-pop stars sign as slave contracts. Yeah.
Slave contract is usually about 10 to 15 years average. They have terms like no dating, dieting, some even have like plastic surgery. That's a slave contract.
When you're a K-pop star, everything in your life is monitored. Your diet, your weight, your hair, your dating life. And then when it's all over, they're left with nothing.
An average idol debuts at the age of 19. 10 years later, they're 29. Contract finishes. It's time to go to army.
The law requires every male to serve the military, and it is extremely hard to get out of it.
You're in the army for 2 years.
Many top stars have enlisted into the military these past few years.
You come out at 32, you don't have a uni degree, you don't have money, you don't have a girlfriend, and you've got nothing.
Now, these K-pop stars that are being controlled by their record labels are so overworked that they literally pass out on stage.
An average workday lasts 20 hours, which is probably why being hospitalized for exhaustion is just par for the course when you're a K-pop star.
Here's a clip of a girl named Crystal from the group FX. There's actually so many clips of her passing out that there's compilations on YouTube. But this isn't new. K-pop stars have been passing out on stage for years. It even happens when they're live streaming. Now, fans of BTS started noticing that during their live performances, some of the members were getting tired. They'd be vomiting off the side of the stage. And sometimes after a show, they'd even have to be hospitalized.
근데 제가 그렇게 쓰러질 줄 몰랐어요.
Now listen, it's not just K-pop stars that are treated like this. The amount of music videos from American artists where they're hinting at feeling like robots or feeling controlled by their record labels is insane. Christina Aguilera, Demi Lovato, Lady Gaga. And being treated like a slave in the music industry is very common, especially when you're in a group. Just listen to this leaked audio clip of Fifth Harmony member Lauren Jarecki talking about the management.
Decisions on a regular basis to fuck us over, to make us literal slaves. Like literally slaves, Allie. We're doing fucking labor every day and we see nothing.
And then there was another audio clip that got leaked of member Camila Cabello.
Sorry I couldn't come down today. It's okay. They were actually working us to the fucking bone. Like we did like literally 5 songs.
Then after those leaked, there was a Q&A with fans, and Lauren said this.
I'm wondering if you had any advice for someone trying to go into the music industry, like myself. Read your contracts.
Now, me and Lauren Jarecki have been actually following each other on Twitter for a while now. We both came out as bisexual. We have a lot of little things in common.
Fifth Harmony's Lauren Jarecki comes out as bisexual.
Shane Dawson, he is bisexual.
So I reached out and asked if she would want to talk to us about that clip and also about the possible slave contracts in the record industry. And she responded and said because of all the contracts she signed, she can't say a word.
Oh, guys, I cannot. My voice is a shot. I need you.
We're gonna get through it, okay? Like we always do.
Now, somebody that did talk a lot about it was Michael Jackson.
I'm not supposed to say what I'm gonna say right now, but I have to let you in on a secret.
He even went on stage one night with a sign that said, Sony kills.
Please don't videotape what I'm going to say, okay? Tommy Mottola is a devil. Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tommy,
the singer is separating from her husband, Sony Music President Tommy Mottola,
came to me crying. She said to me, this is an evil man.
I don't think there was ever a moment when she had control of her own image while she was at Sony.
Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones, and he's very, very evil.
You know that it has been written that you were a virtual hostage in that house.
All right.
That's right, Sony, the same label that was forcing Kesha to work with somebody that she was terrified of.
A judge rules that Kesha will remain under contract with Sony.
Now, Prince was also very vocal about this as well.
And we live in a place now
that feels just about like a plantation. We're all indentured servants.
He even performed one night with a slave sharpied on his face. Now, Michael Jackson and Prince were two of the only pop stars that were speaking out against record labels. And then, mysteriously, they died in a very similar way.
The suspected overdose of the king of pop.
Prince died of an accidental drug overdose.
Then, of course, you have Kanye, who's been throwing around the word slavery a lot in the press.
Slavery.
What if he's hinting at the slavery in the music industry?
Please. We're all indentured servants.
I mean, one of the biggest examples of artists who might be dropping clues is Britney Spears. Now, if you look at the titles of her songs on her first CD, everything was fun. Baby One More Time, Soda Pop. Then on her next album, it got a little darker. Lucky, a song that was about a pop star who was miserable and scared.
This is a story about a girl named Lucky.
Then her next album, Lonely, Overprotected, Let Me Be, and of course, and if you look at the record label that she's owned by, it's called Jive, which, you guessed it, is owned by Sony. And if you're wondering what record label Fifth Harmony was under, it was called Epic Records, owned by Sony.
Literal slaves.
And guess who Camila Cabello's with now? Sony.
Camila Cabello has been hospitalized. This girl has a lot on her plate right now, and she just doesn't stop.
I'll never be the same.
So what does all of this have to do with BTS? Well, very recently, BTS signed with Columbia Records in America. And guess who owns Columbia Records? Sony.
Oh my god.
Real quickly, we'll come right back to you. We've got some breaking news in LA where the coroners have finally formally released Michael Jackson's cause of death.
They have determined that Michael Jackson's death back on June 25th was a homicide.
Read your contracts.
Flat Earth theory.
Flat Earth, one of the most controversial theories of all time. And I'm going to be honest, I've never even looked into it because there's such a stigma around it.
We're going to talk about the Flat Earthers.
What is a Flat Earth Society, by the way?
People believe the Earth is flat.
Still?
Yeah.
That was a joke about the world being flat, right? Was it?
But I wanted to try something different and come up with a new segment for these conspiracy videos. I want to talk to somebody who believes in a crazy conspiracy theory, and they have to try to convince me to believe in it too. So I went to the biggest conspiracy theorist I know, my brother. Okay, I am here with my brother Jared, who might be an even bigger conspiracy theorist than me.
If that's even possible.
But I'm trying. So I want to talk to you about the Flat Earth theory because it's something that you've kind of touched on and I always kind of like move on because I've heard it's so crazy.
It is very crazy. In order for you to even start to take it seriously, you have to put yourself in the mind frame of people that believe in the Flat Earth. And why would they even want to believe in the Flat Earth?
Well, you're saying they, so you don't believe it?
I'm open to the idea. I don't know. For me, at least, it's hard for me to pinpoint what I believe. So I'm open to both.
Same.
What?
You sound like a bisexual thing. Okay.
I'm down for the Flat Earth, but that round Earth got me too.
Okay.
I'm a weekend Flat Earther.
Okay, so we have to be in the mindset, right?
Yeah, so you got to be in the mindset. So you have to think about the foundation of it. All the information that we get about the Earth, about space, the moon, and all these things comes from NASA. Every picture that you've ever seen is given to you by NASA. So NASA is also associated with the moon landing being a hoax.
One small step for man.
They are some of the most famous images in history. But why are there no stars in the night sky? Why is the American flag waving here when there was no air to cause any breeze?
There are moments where the crosshairs lie behind equipment.
Look, guys fall forward and looks like they get yanked up by wires.
Reflected in the visor is a mysterious object.
I'm sure that's something that everyone at this point has heard of, right? All the pictures that they take of the Earth are composite images, so no images that we see are actually ever a camera from real far away looking at the Earth.
Wait, what do you mean?
They're they're all composite images because they can't just get it all in one shot, so they have to go around the Earth and take a bunch of pictures and then they piece it together.
International Space Station residents only see about 3% of Earth's surface at any one time.
If you zoom in on them, there's cloud formations that repeat several times, which how could that ever really happen? They're just copying and pasting things.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
That's one thing that builds distrust, because you have to have distrust of who's giving you your information to feel like maybe the flat Earth is feasible, right?
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Well, and even moon landing is one of those things where, like, maybe 20 years ago, everybody thought, oh, that's stupid, that's crazy. But now, I feel like kind of everybody's down for the moon landing being fake.
I mean, they say all the footage of the original moon landing was lost.
You know what they think happened to the original moon tapes? Is they might have been taped over. It's not a cassette. It's not an old mixtape from college.
We have been unable to track it down.
And as I said, even if we had it, we don't have the machines to play it back.
It's incredible that we can keep track of Egyptian pots from 2,000 years ago, but we lose tapes made only 40 years ago.
So we lose all the footage.
Right?
And all the technology was destroyed.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology.
And then, if you take science into
Doesn't
consideration,
make sense.
science only works if you have one magical event that no one has to actually have proof for. Everything stems from the Big Bang Theory. Something the size of a pinhead, two atoms connecting, blowing up, and creating everything that's in this universe.
In a millionth of 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 a second, it went from a size smaller than an atom to bigger than a galaxy.
Right, and then Einstein thought of the theory of gravity, which is just a theory. You have the Big Bang Theory, the theory of gravity. So now we have a disbelief for these things. The last thing that you have to think about is religion. So in the Bible, it talks about the sea, there's the sky, there's the firmament. What the firmament is a dome.
It says that in the Bible.
Yeah, there's a firmament, so the dome shaped, the heavens are above it, and then it talks about how the earth expands to its four corners. So that also would make you feel like there could be a flat shape to it.
Okay, so really quick, give us a breakdown. What is the flat Earth theory, and why does it exist?
So the flat Earth theory is that we are not on a ball, we're not on a sphere. We're on something that's flat, a flat plane, a planet, right, is just the word plane with a T. And Antarctica, which is in the very south, is an ice wall that's around all of the continents. So instead of us being able to go around the world, it's all enclosed by Antarctica's ice wall. So the United Nations map is actually the flat Earth map model. They have actual borders around this, and then you see all the continents spread out. So if this was a globe, they spread it out like this. So that's the model that they believe, and there's an Arctic ice wall around it. And one reason this gets perpetuated and people think it's valid to think Antarctica is the barrier is because in the late 50s there was a treaty signed by almost all the major countries of power to not let anybody go into Antarctica. So if you try to get close to Antarctica, they're going to tell you, get the hell out of here. You could go on little explorations of it, but nothing without a bunch of people monitoring you, right? And planes don't fly over it. All flight patterns take you away from Antarctica. No one's flying directly over it. They always take a weird route. Like, there was an airplane that was going from the Philippines to Los Angeles, which should be a straight route from Philippines to Los Angeles. Mid-flight, a woman, her water broke. So they had to make emergency landing. They could have either just turned around or kept going to Los Angeles. Somehow they ended up in Alaska. So the flight plan to get them from Philippines to Alaska, if you put it on a flat Earth map, it's a straight line from the Philippines to Alaska. But when you put it on a globe, it makes no sense, right? So let me break some stuff down. The world that we live in. Let's really analyze this. We live in a world that is all based on material things. Materialism really is what controls the country. Money, really it's about sex, it's about objects.
This is my shoe closet.
I see it is my closet. Everything here would be designer. Gucci, Louis, Versace.
It's about egos and how people feel about themselves. All marketing is based off of fears and compulsions to make us be driven to want to do things. right? So our whole life is filled with billboards and advertisements and commercials, and it keeps us very occupied on that surface level of life, right? And it makes it easier to control you. You know, music is a huge influence on the culture. You know, we had gangster rap 20 years ago.
Rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone. When I'm called off, I got a sawed-off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off.
And then all of a sudden, the prison system started filling up people faster. You have nowadays with people rapping about Xanax and opiates.
Xanax gone fake, yeah. Designer shoes is an next tab. Popping on eggs, popping on eggs, popping on egg pills.
So obviously the kids now are putting themselves into a deeper slumber. Like they want to dumb us down and just make us robotic. You know, just to make us feel like just pawns in a chess game. Think about like marijuana. We live in a world where there's a seed that if you put it in dirt in front of your house, you could possibly go to jail.
Arrested for selling brownies laced with pot. Jacob Lavoro now faces a possible life sentence.
You were sentenced to life without parole for possession of marijuana.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
They don't allow you to do psychedelic drugs. They make you feel like those are the devil and those are evil. But things like alcohol are legal. Prescription drugs are legal. You know, things that are really killing people. So they want to suppress us.
Wait, you think weed and like mushrooms and stuff, you think for the most part all that's illegal because
things like weed or things like mushrooms, they expand your mind and they really put you into the universe and it puts you into perspective of what life is all about. For instance, there's a drug DMT. 90% of people that smoke this drug, when they first smoke it, they hear in their head, "We're so happy you found this technology."
Ew, oh my god, right? Ew,
So think about that. I mean, so they want to get you into something where they can completely control you. I mean, we're at the point now where they put little machines in your house to basically do everything for you. Where you have phones to listen on everything to tell you your next purchase that you want to make.
And then, on my Instagram feed, a commercial for Triscuits popped up.
You're listening.
They're listening in.
I mean, they want to be able to go in your house and stock your groceries.
That's true.
That's just a test to see, are the people ready for that yet? Are they ready for us to go in their house and stock their fridge?
Oh my god. The flat earth kind of makes sense. If you think the simulation theory is real, why wouldn't the earth be flat? Why wouldn't there be an ending on each side? And Elon Musk, the guy that really made it popular.
Obviously this feels real. The odds that we're in base reality is 1 in billions. I don't think I'm being played by somebody in a video game. But then people in video games don't generally think that.
He's like a genius, everybody trusts him, he created Tesla, all these things. Well, one thing that he did that like a lot of flat earthers felt like was a personal attack was when he sent that car into space with a camera, it showed that the earth was round. And everybody's like, see, flat earth is stupid. Elon Musk showed us that it's round. But in that video, there is a weird moment. It's like a glitch. And it's a moment where it kind of looks like a green screen. You see the earth behind the car, and then it's a studio, and then it's back. Now that's been debunked, but it is weird that happened.
Who knows? Maybe this is Elon Musk's way of giving us a little Easter egg. Maybe he never actually shot this car into space. Because this guy believes in this whole simulation theory. So why does he care about outer space? Maybe that was a little thing to put in there. Like, hey guys, let me give you a little idea. All of this is fake. All this space stuff is fake. You know what I'm saying? This is just a distraction. And then, where's the curve? Have you ever seen the curve of the Earth?
You get your information from a book written by men you've never met, and you take their words as true.
I mean, they say, well, in an airplane you could see it, but I can't see it. Yeah. You're at 6 feet tall. I can see about 3 miles ahead of me. And I can see about 20 miles in a panoramic setting. If I'm 10,000 feet up, more than 1,000 times taller than what I am, shouldn't I be able to see about 1,000 times more at minimum? I mean, the Earth is only 24,000 miles around. I should be able to see some kind of a curve. They send hot air balloons up. They just still see the same horizon.
So if the Earth is flat, why do the people in charge want us to think it's round?
Because on a round Earth, hurling through space at hundreds of thousands of miles an hour, we're not really here for a purpose. We're just here coincidentally because of a Big Bang and particles and evolution. But on a flat Earth, with a dome on top of it, or even just a flat Earth with just the heavens above, all of a sudden we have a purpose. Think about if the moon knew your name, how personally you'd feel with the universe. You know the moon's name, but the moon doesn't know your name. You're not important to the moon. But what if the moon existed solely for you? What if the universe was for you? But instead, the government wants you to feel like it's all unpredictable and at any point it's all going to go to shit because we really don't matter anyways. We're just a rock flying through space. So it just makes us feel insignificant.
And then that's easier for them to control.
And the best way to take over people is to create conflict and to get them obsessive over things that don't really matter to their existence.
It's a little shit out here.
It is the biggest leap forward since the original iPhone.
What do you like about Supreme?
The hype and the exclusivity.
So a lot of people are coming for the accessories, especially like the shovel.
Yeah,
or
the shovel's kind of crazy.
Why does everyone want the crowbar?
Because it's a fucking crowbar. Are you fucking serious?
Think about it. The earth literally grows things out of the dirt that provide you all you need to exist. Why the fuck are we going to McDonald's or to Starbucks or to all these places to spend all of our money?
Oh my god, look at this beautiful drink. It looks so cool. It tastes amazing too.
There was a system built around society to control you within it.
I'm off to McDonald's to see all the boys and girls.
They constantly make you want more.
So now that I'm thinking about that, why is everybody that even thinks maybe there's a possibility of the earth being flat called crazy?
Because it's a way to discredit people. So by them calling you crazy, they've discredited everything about you. You know, once you find out someone is a flat earther, are you going to take anything they say seriously? You know, and then also, conspiracy theorist is a term created to make people look crazy in the first place.
Right.
Like, when did we become a society that instead of exploring theories, started calling things conspiracies? Like, it's almost they don't want you to be a free thinker. And then all of a sudden, when you started looking up on Google and YouTube about the flat earth, where 6 months ago, a year ago, it was all pretty cool videos that gave you reasons to believe maybe this is a possibility.
Yeah.
But now when you Google it, it's all sketches about how stupid it is, or like, people are so dumb and I can't believe people believe this. So it's almost, how do you stop information from spreading? You just credit all of it by flooding the information highways with the debunking stuff, or you're crazy if you believe this. The government actually has a website called the Flat Earth Society just to spread bad information. Why would the government put out information to debunk something that's clearly insane? You know, because right when you Google it, if all you see is you're crazy if you believe this, why would you want to look further into that? So it doesn't ever let you get to the point of the theory that really has value. The reason I like the theory, because it puts me in a place that I matter, that I have a purpose. There's design. This was designed as opposed to just coincidentally happening. That I somehow, you know, have meaning in this as opposed to I'm a speck of dirt on this planet that's just hurtling through space. You know, they don't want you to feel like that. So that really is what it is. In order to control the sheep, you have to make them feel like there's a gate there. So they constantly keep a gate there. There's videos of sheep that they take out the barbed wire on a gate, and they believe the gate is still there. So they all smash against this area without being forced in by the gate. They've just been trained that this rectangular area that has a gate is where you stay. They could go at any point, it's just they're brainwashed into believing that that gate's still there, right? What would they think if all of a sudden they realize there's no gate there, I can run free? What would that do to the sheep herder? The sheep herder has to make those sheep believe that they're stuck there, and their only purpose is to follow him and do what he says. All we are is just getting furred for sweaters and chopped up for meat to eat. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how we're being treated. What are sheep? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so now that we've talked about it, do you think the earth is flat?
100% honest, I don't care about the shape of the earth. To be honest with you, we're generalizing the theory when we just call it flat earth. Flat earth is just one variable. It's just the shape of the earth. Do I believe that this earth was designed to have things on it that could have purpose? Yes. So I see myself attracted more to it than I do a Big Bang Theory where people evolved and we're just here because of a cycle and that's pretty much it. And then at any point an asteroid's going to hit us and we're all going to be dust. So I subscribe to the ideology of the flat earth theory. As far as it being flat, it becomes less and less important to me as I dig into it. You know, what becomes more important to me is why am I here? And why am I here doesn't make sense unless you put it in context that things were created for a purpose. You know?
Well, then I guess if you put it that way, I guess I kind of believe it too.
Oh my God! We're not believing it's flat and all this. We're believing that it was created and it's not everything that it's been told to us, right? We're open to acknowledging that it isn't exactly what we've been told. That's all we're doing. Right?